Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's very early in the morning here in South Africa where I am, and we have a winter storm roaring in, and we thought winter was over, but apparently not. So if I disappear for a while in the next few days, that's because my power supply has been knocked out by the storm. Nothing to worry about. But I thought I would just hop on early this morning because the British papers are full of tales, I think they are tales, from that dreadful book Finding Freedom, from Omid Scobie's final chapter, and I do hope it is his final chapter. And I've been waiting to see if anything sparks my interest. It's all the same old stuff over and over and over. But the one story that has interested me is this claim by Omid Scobie that the British royal family's failure to deal with these race allegations that Meghan Markle has made, their failure is actually going to bring down the monarchy. I think wishful thinking on Meghan Markle's part, but let's have a look. Let's see what the cards have to say. I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross from the royal family's point of view. I want to see what's going on, how they're handling the allegations, what effect the allegations are having on them, whether that royal is going to be named. We know that poor Princess Anne fell on her sword, has already fallen on her sword and offered herself up. I'm mixing metaphors all over the place. It is early in the morning. And Lady C revealed her as the alleged culprit several months ago. And I don't think anyone really bought that. But let's have a look and see what is going on. And Page of Wands is coming out at the bottom of the deck, which is, of course, the news card, and that's old Omid Scobie popping up yet again. I have done private readings on him. I in fact did one last night on him again, and this book, and what impact this book is going to have on him, and then they weren't interesting enough to post, quite honestly, but they keep confirming for me that this is literally going to be his final chapter, that Omid Scobie is out after this. He served his purpose with his master in Montecito, his alleged master in Montecito, and let me just say, of course, this is just a tarot reading for entertainment purposes, just my opinion. But it does look like he's on the skids with his master in Montecito. But here he is popping up. This is PR, this is notice, this is look at me. Here I am with more tales from California for you to read. And hopeful, optimistic. He's the eternal optimist, Omid Scobie, with his new K-pop face that he seems to have bought, I assume, on the proceeds of this final chapter of his. And perhaps fearing that he might have to have a new career in K-pop if this book doesn't go well. And it does look as if this book is not going to go very well for him. Sorry, I'm fiddling with the cards. It is early in the morning and I haven't had enough coffee yet. But there he is. There is Omi, the little person bearing tales, the little tale teller. I don't ever get that energy off the Page of Wands, but today, yes, here he comes telling tales. So, royal family, how are they feeling? At the moment, what is the energy around the situation? Here they are trying to deal with it, trying to manage the situation. Two of Pentacles. They are trying to figure out how to deal with it. They're weighing up their options. What shall we do? Meetings, I'm sure. Meetings going on. Shall we do this? Shall we do that? How are we going to handle it? Because, of course, it's being blasted all over the British newspapers at the moment. I'm sure it will be blasted all over the press in the US as well at some stage. But they are wondering how best to deal with it, how best to handle the situation. What challenges possibly are they facing as they attempt to manage this situation? Ace of Pentacles. It looks as if it's going to cost them some money. Very interesting energy that's coming out here, that they're going to have to make some kind of offer that's one of the things that they're considering, is making some kind of offer. And I really hope that they don't, that this doesn't mean that they're going to make some kind of gesture towards Madame in Montecito and say, oh, we're so sorry. I really hope that doesn't mean what I think it means. But there is a consideration here that money is going to have to be spent, and they're going to have to embark on a new path with this in order to manage this situation. They are actively going to have to do something that is going to cost Pentacles and is going to reach across the ocean to those two. My heart sinks when I see this card, but this is the challenge. This is the challenge, obviously. And that is being debated with the Two of Pentacles. The debate is, do we make some kind of gesture? Do we make some kind of offer to them? Maybe even do we pay Scobie to go away and to shut up? I don't know. But big money involved there. Big, serious money, serious situation. This is serious. This isn't a negative card. For us looking at this, or me certainly looking at it, it's a serious card. My heart sinks. But for them, this isn't serious. This is, we're going to have to spend large amounts of money on this to make this go away. We're going to have to do something. It could even be in a better reading of this card, and as I say, not yet enough coffee in me. It could be, we're going to have to really spend huge amounts of money on PR to make this go away, to fight back. But we're going to look and see how they're going to fight back in another card. What is hidden from us? What don't we know about what's going on at the moment? And we get the sneakiness card, the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So things are being exposed. When you see the Seven of Swords in the reverse, that's a good thing. It means that sneakiness, lies, deception is being exposed. So behind the scenes, they are seemingly working on things, exposing lies, and hopefully getting ready to expose them publicly. But behind the scenes, definitely working on exposing the lies, the deceit, what is really going on with these claims, with these allegations, what really happened in the royal family. What was that actually all about? That racism claim that Meghan made so largely in the Oprah interview. Definitely lies, but lies here being exposed. That's encouraging. That card made my heart sink for a while, but I do think it could just be a huge PR push. We're going to have to spend big to make this go away. So hidden energy, lies being exposed. What is their focus at the moment, the royal family? What is their focus? They're just really so sick of this. 10 of Wands, it's exhausting. It's weighing everybody down. They are so tired. They're so fed up. They just wanted to go away, feeling really burdened, feeling heart sore, which I don't often get off this card, but just overwhelmed at the moment, exhausted. Do we have to really keep doing this every day? Wake up, crisis management, and it's just exhausting. And they have reached the end of their tether. With the 10, it's maximum exhaustion. It reached the end of the road with this whole thing, and something is going to have to be done to make it go away. With that Ace of Pentacles, something new. We're going to have to come up with something new to make it go away. As you know, I read these cards one by one, and the story only knits itself together really as we go through the reading. So the cards tend to make more sense as we go along, and this one is making more sense to me now. So what has happened in the recent past with this whole racism allegation? The Ace of Swords, that is the Oprah interview, Ace of Swords in reverse. That brutal, vicious allegation, the stab, the dagger, the stab through the heart, words that cut deeply, that were vicious, cruel, untrue, lies. The Ace of Swords in reverse is the opposite of truth, lies. And my opinion only, of course, but lies in the Oprah interview, massive public lies, because it's the ace. enormous lies that were brutal, that were seen throughout the world, that really cut to the heart of the royal family. And this allegation, of course, has now popped up with the little plastic fantastic here with his new face and his new hairdo and his new K-pop career. The royal family is reeling from it yet again. We had the Oprah interview in the past, in the now seems remote past, back in the mists of time. Time goes so quickly with these two. They live whole lifetimes in the space of a few months. But now it's back up, it's popped back up in the past few days. Here we are again. They're all groaning. Oh no, what are we going to do? Here it is again. This vicious allegation is back. This is going to bring down the royal family, says Meghan Markle's mouthpiece, Omid Scobie. What's coming up next? Is the royal involved going to be named, for instance? Is that going to be happening? Page of Pentacles. Again, I'm getting the sense of an offer being made. And I really don't like to see this. This doesn't look like royal being named. It doesn't look like royal being named. I'm sure that the debate going on within the private chambers and corridors of the royal family is, what are we going to do if a royal is named? There's going to be some kind of communication about this. Pages are communication. Some kind of offer is going to be made. Some kind of compromise. The word apology is hovering in my mind. I hate having that word out there. But something is going to be made. Maybe even the royal family is going to fight back in the way that Harry and Meghan often use charitable foundations and say, oh, well, we'll make a contribution to the charity of your choice. And that makes me laugh, because that would play them at their own game, beat them at their own game. How many donations have they made, Harry and Meghan, in the past few days? £10 to the women of Afghanistan, £10 to Haiti, the kitchen fund, splashed all over the place. Oh, we're so grateful to Harry and Meghan for their generous donation. No amounts are ever mentioned, and I'm sure that it is the £10 that we all give when, there are the Red Cross appeals and whatever, and off we go again. Here we go, give some minor sum, knowing that millions are giving similar minor sums, and it'll all add up eventually. A small token gesture may be made. And because I'm feeling amused by it, I don't think it's sinister. I am an intuitive, and this is how I do these readings. And I was prompted to get out of bed early this morning as the storm started to batter at my windows and come and do this reading. Possibly this is what's going to be going on. Some PR management to manage the situation and just push back. The Two of Pentacles is, of course, trying to balance the situation, trying to be reasonable and trying to push back. It might cost a lot of money. On the surface, we might only see a small amount of money, but something is going on. And this is the card that I have designated for this precise question. Is the royal family going to fight back? How are they going to fight back, if they are? The Three of Wands in reverse. If they are, it's going to be hidden, because the Three of Wands in the upright is a grand adventure, sending out your ships, publicly sending out your ships, sending out your messages in this case, and waiting for them to come back with whatever treasure you are hoping that they're going to bring back. This is also the waiting card. In reverse, it's no longer waiting. So it seems as if they are fed up now with waiting to see what is going to come their way, what poisonous barbs are going to be heading their way over the sea from California, and they are going to push back But because the card is in the reverse, it's going to be hidden. And all this energy that I'm getting so far is minor public pushback, hidden energies, hidden things going on with the Seven of Swords, with things being exposed, hidden pushback with the Three of Wands in the reverse. Stopped waiting for the damage to land on their shores, pushing back, but not pushing back really in a way that we are going to see or notice. That is going to be dramatic for us, that we are going to think, glory, hallelujah, at last they're doing something. So what is the public perception of all this, of the race allegations? How does the public feel about them? Does the public believe them? What does the public think? The public wants the royal family to do something about it. Ace of Wands. The public is saying, please, please, get a grip on the situation. Ace of Wands is literally grasping that wand, and wands, of course, are PR. The public is saying, please, please do something. Please push back. I'm not getting for 1 second that the public is buying these stories, these allegations, that the public thinks that the royal family is going to fall because somebody wondered in an idle moment what skin tone baby Archie would have. Would he be pale and freckled like his father, or would he have a lovely, smooth, darker glow to his skin like his mother? Harmless comment, and misconstrued, twisted and turned into poison. Public is saying, please, please, please fight back. We're seeing wands here, and we are in this media war, really. And aces coming up here. The Ace of Swords in the reverse that kicked off this whole debacle, the lies on the Oprah Winfrey interview, the lies being exposed, being worked on behind the scenes here with the Seven of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles as the royal family's challenge, how to push back in a very solid way. It's going to cost them money. It's going to have to look serious. Ace of Wands from the British public, please do something, begging the royal family, do something. Hopes and fears, the royal family's hopes and fears. Do they hope this is all just going to quietly disappear? Do they fear that it really is going to have damage? And I'm getting the Hermit in reverse. So they fear that it isn't going to go away. The Hermit in reverse is the disappearing act. Going away quietly to think about things, to disappear. In the reverse, not disappearing. It's major arcana. Sticking around, really. An unwelcome presence sticking around. I'm getting off this card at the moment. They do fear that this is going to just drag on and on and on. That if they don't find the right path, because the Hermit, of course, is the person who goes off into the darkness seeking a path, the wise path. They fear that they may not find the right response to this, that they may not find the right way out of this mess, that they may not be able to shine a light in the dark and say, this is our truth, this is what really happened. And so major arcana there, they are very worried about this. They are very worried about not being able to respond adequately to this situation, and that it is going to stick around and haunt them. It has the feeling of a ghost in that position for me, that card, that they're going to trip over this constantly in the time to come if they don't get on top of it with this Ace of Pentacles and do something. But the do something so far is the Page of Pentacles. It's not big enough, this response at all. What is the outcome of this mess going to be? Current energies, current timelines. Queen of Swords in reverse. And this, of course, is very likely the Queen herself, the Queen of Swords. In the reverse, this is silence. It looks as if the Queen herself is not going to comment. She's not going to say anything about this. She's just going to let it go quietly away. The Queen of Swords in reverse, it can be a very vicious card. It can be really an ugly energy. But I'm not getting that off this card right now, because the Queen of Swords does often show up as Queen Elizabeth. And the sword is pointing down there in this card. Swords pointing down, silence. They can mean silence. So she is not going to say anything. Because it's in the reverse, it does indicate for me that there is going to be disappointment from the public in this response. That the public is going to wish for something more dynamic to come, but it's not going to come. Very small gestures, very small responses. It doesn't look like any particular royal is going to be named and shamed, that anyone is going to have to fight back at a personal level. It does look like very small steps taken to push back. Unfortunately for us, maybe it's the best thing for them to do. Silence, maybe that is what they have reasoned is the best way forward. Pushing back behind the scenes, I'm getting that indication with the Three of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Swords in reverse. Pushing back, perhaps even with the Seven of Swords in reverse, lawyers' letters going out to people and saying, we know that these are lies. Perhaps we have statements from people who were there that perhaps you should be more considered in your statements from now on. We can push back in future if we need to push back in future. And Prince William has already warned ITV about defamation. Omid Scobie's segments in that documentary on William and Harry had to be pulled because Prince William lawyered up and threatened them. And this could be going on in the background, but we aren't going to see it. Lady C did tell us that a lot was going on behind the scenes that we did not know about and that we would never know about. This is the feeling that I'm getting off this reading very strongly. The public wants a large gesture made by the royal family, but it's not going to happen. Whatever is going to go on behind the scenes. The Queen herself is not going to make a statement, not going to say anything. And this is not a vicious energy in the Queen of Swords in the reverse. It is just simply, I'm going to stay silent, and whatever I do is going to be behind closed doors, is going to be within the privacy of the family. And that is the way that she has handled the situation up until now. With a minor exception here with this Page of Pentacles, there could be some small gesture made to make the situation go away. And on that note, this reading has gone on and on a bit, and I apologize for that. I'll see you on the next one.